Good morning, gang. Happy Friday. Okay, end of another week. We made it. Hope you all had a little bit of fun last night. Believe it or not, there's going to be another little fun one tonight. Different thing, but something else that you guys can win. So, kind of cool. Uh, what I want to talk about this morning, this is a conversation Mrs. P and I had yesterday. We had a run into town, and like I told you many times before, it's a long drive, so we get a chance to good conversations. But we were thinking about all this immigration, I guess, if you will, okay, between the southern border, between the Haitians, between the Afghanis, and, 46 welcoming everybody with open arms and putting them on buses and putting them on planes and resettling them, and the big farce about, oh, gee, we're sending, deporting people. Yeah, okay, fine. We got 10 times as many people being released as are being deported. So, I mean, what was the running joke, I guess, down in Haiti was if you're going up to the States, make sure you take a kid with you because they're allowing anybody with a kid in. Okay. But so I had a thought on what was going on. Agree with me if you will, don't, but maybe some of you guys can enlighten me from where you guys live. Now, we know with the census, we know with all the reports that have come out of U-Haul that people are leaving California, Illinois, New York, and Connecticut in droves. Okay. And what do all those states have in common? Well, they're all blue states. Yes, don't get me started on Chicago's blue and the rest of Illinois. I get it. Okay. But they're all blue states that are completely mismanaged, okay, that have idiots for governors, uh, idiots for senators, idiots for representatives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. But all those idiots have something in common. They are hell bent on keeping their power. And when you lose population, okay, you lose representation in Washington in regards to House of Representatives. And, again, you lose your tax base, whole 9 yards. So the first thing we all think of is, okay, they're going to resettle all these new immigrants into these states. And I think, okay, but that's not quite going far enough. And I'm wondering if this is all, again, a part of the manipulation plan that I talked about yesterday. Now, let's talk about where people are moving to. They're moving to Texas, Florida, Arizona, Tennessee, and Idaho, primarily. Okay, when they're leaving California, Illinois, New York, and Connecticut, those are where they're going. What do all those states have in common? They're all red states that are turning into battleground states. Okay, maybe not so much Tennessee, but you look at Idaho. Idaho's got different political parties in the governorship and in the majority in Washington. Florida's a battleground state. The Democrats are hell bent for leather, determined to turn Texas purple, and Arizona went blue in the last election. Okay, Tennessee still pretty solid red, but getting bluer as more people move in here. And this is my thoughts. Now, we don't have any demographic data on all the people that are leaving California, New York, Connecticut, and Illinois, and whether they are red or blue. But I got to figure that there's a good mix of both, okay? And probably a lot of them aren't leaving because of the politics. They're leaving because of the taxes, or they're leaving because the companies they work for are having problems with the taxes, and so their jobs are moving to more tax-friendly states, i.e. Florida, Texas, Arizona, Tennessee, Idaho, everything like this. So you get into this and go, all right, is this planned? And I go, all right, if we make our blue states so ridiculously expensive that our constituency, blues, move down to the red states and turn those into purple states, but we bring in a whole bunch of immigrants, I'll use the term, okay, illegal aliens, wanna be refugees, gee, my country sucks, let me go to your country, that group, and move them into primarily either the battleground states or backfill the population in the blue states. Then the blue states keep their population up, which means they keep their representation up. Because remember, 45 tried to make the census question on there about citizenship and was shot down. So the census is based on population of everybody, not just population of people who are here legally. So, it doesn't matter if 3/4 of the state's population, I'm hypothetical here, 3/4 of the state's population is illegals. It doesn't matter. They still count for how much representation a state has in Washington. California really likes that idea, okay, because they have the most representation because they have the biggest population. If you took out all the illegals in California, they probably wouldn't. They'd lose a ton of seats. So California is more than thrilled to bring in a bunch of illegals because not that they're going to do anything for them, not that the people are going to have, think about this. You're from Haiti, you're from El Salvador, you're from Afghanistan, and you move in and have to live on the cost of living in California. Good freaking luck, all right? But as far as the politicians are concerned, they're another body, which counts to keep them with all their representatives, okay? But then those people that moved now are in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, in Tennessee, and Idaho. And if they can start flipping those states, then they never lose another election. Remember all the stories? What was it? I think it was during the Romney-Obama election, where people were trying online, trying to say, I live in California and my vote means nothing. We know that Obama's going to win here, so let me trade my vote with somebody who's in a red state. And, you vote for my guy, I'll vote for your guy, but it'll mean something over there and it won't mean anything over here. Remember them trying to pull that sort of crap, which is highly illegal, but it was being tried, okay? And people were using Facebook to do that. It's voter fraud, but, not that that's really mattered for the last 12 years anyway. So this was just a theory I had, is could this be part of the bigger plan? The Democrats move into the red states and try to overtake the red states, and they backfill their population with people that can't vote anyway, but they can still keep the representation. So, hey, if you've got a smaller voting population, made up numbers here. Let's say there's still 3 people that can vote in California, but there's a population of 10. 7 of them are illegals. Well, they still get the representation for the 10 people. But out of those 3 people, as long as 2 are Democrats, the state stays blue. 2 people now just made the 2 people made the decision to be represented by 10, or get the representation for 10. See where I'm going with this? Now you start twisting around these other states, and you wonder if this is all a big ploy. Hey, let's see if we can chase out some. Because I find it really funny that when some of these companies are leaving California or leaving Washington or whatever, you really don't hear the politicians crying about it. And hell, that's losing their tax base. But they figure they've got this all backed up somehow. And they're going, hey, you know what? If that liberal company moves to South Carolina, great. Then there's a better chance of our party taking South Carolina. We know we'll keep everything as, crooked as we can where we are right now anyway. Just a theory I had on what's going on, because God knows none of us trust the government. But, let me know what you guys think. It's an interesting concept I had. I'm just wondering Y'all agree with me? Y'all think I'm all wet? Whatever it would be. So let me know. Talk to you later. Pinball out.